Hi, let us understand the principles of how a bullet works. And I have a gun here, which is a .22 Walther KK300. So, utilizing this opportunity, I will just make a video about how an actual bullet works. Okay, so this is an empty case or a spent cartridge, as we call it. Okay, so what happens here is at the bottommost part of this cartridge we put something called as primer or charge. On top of that there is gunpowder added. It's in granule form, and then comes the actual bullet, which goes on top of the gunpowder and sits on the rim of the bullet. Okay, the front. At the rear side, you see this rim, that is where the primer is. So now what happens, this bullet is loaded into the gun, and the gun has a bolt which has a firing pin inside. So if you look carefully there, the firing pin, yes, that in the center is the firing pin. Okay, so when we load the gun, that firing pin is retracted, and that firing pin is again held by the shear of the gun there, like that. So when we squeeze trigger, the shear lets go of the hammer pin, and that hammer pin comes and strikes the bullet at the rear side of the rim. Okay, so when it is struck, the primer or charge burns and creates a spark, and that spark is enough to burn the entire gunpowder and then blow the bullet off through the barrel. Okay, so every shot is a controlled explosion. So that is what it is. So if you see how it works, right now it is retracted. So the bullet, when it goes and sits, it locks in. Okay, it locks in, and then that is what goes into the barrel. Okay, solid steel barrel, so that's why the barrel doesn't explode. Okay, so now you see here, so you hold that, and if you spin, that's how the bullet is ejected. Whereas this does not get out of the barrel, it will be still stuck into the bolt, and when you pull the bolt out, this gets ejected out of the gun. Okay, so how the working principles of the trigger unit is pretty similar to the air pistols, the catch, latch, shear system, and how it works. It's exactly same. So you can look up our videos on manual trigger. So other than that, this is how the gun works. Pretty simple. All we do is load and fire. For firing, we use this trigger unit which goes under the gun. I'll show you how the ejection system works in the bolt. So you know the bolt holds the bullet using these two clamp systems. Okay, so that goes inside the barrel, and as you're pulling it out, okay, you'll see a small notch here. Okay, you see the small notch. What that basically does, it does not allow the bullet to go any further out there. Okay, so the speed at which you're pulling the bolt out, the bottom part of the bullet, okay, hits that, and then it moves out of these clamps and then comes out there. Okay, so that's how it gets thrown out. So this small piece of metal which is protruding, that is what helps you eject the bullet out. Hope you learned something about .22 gun, how it works, and this is a common principle. It works for any gun or any rifle in the world. It's the same principles.
To spread the joy of shooting, always ensure you're following the safety rules. Always point the gun in the safe direction. Second, treat the gun as always loaded. 3, use safety flag wherever it's necessary and even if it's not necessary. Happy shooting.